Hey everybody, Douglas here from Rev Rides, and today we're going to be showing you how to put a solid tire on your VSETT 9 Plus. Let's get to it. Solid tires offer a great maintenance-free solution for riders who are prone to flats. When you get yours from RevRides.com, it should come with one solid tire and 3 screws to assist with mounting. You will also need some of your own tools, such as a torch or heat gun. This will help loosen any Loctite that's holding your screws in place. You will need a 2.5mm Allen key. This will take off your motor mount covers. You will also need a 4mm Allen key to remove your motor screws. You'll need a size 8mm wrench and a size 18mm wrench to remove any nuts. And for pry bars, you will need a flat and rounded pry bar to pry from the inside and the side of the tire. We also recommend having a rag to ensure that you're not marring up your motor at all. First step is grabbing our 2.5mm Allen key and removing the motor wire covers right here. Next, you'll need your 18mm wrench to remove the nuts on each side of your motor. Can help to hold the bottom of your motor to be sure that it doesn't slide out after you loosen. Now slide your motor out and set it on a separate stand.
Note that the motor wire is susceptible to damage from the axle. Handle with care.
Next, you'll need your 4mm Allen key to remove the rotor screws on your motor. If they're too tight and won't come off, be sure to use your heat gun or torch to loosen up that Loctite. Now go ahead and remove your rotor. When using heat, be sure to move the heat around evenly so you do not warp the rotor. Next, you'll need a 4mm Allen key to remove the motor screws. But first, if you haven't already, make sure to deflate the air in your tube, as if you take these screws out, it could then explode. Now that all the screws are removed, you can split your motor. If it doesn't pop off right away, you can use your pry bar to help. After removing your tire and split rim, take the split rim out of your old tire. And you can toss this whole assembly or save it for extra if it's not damaged, because you won't be needing it anymore. With your new solid tire, be sure that the orientation has these squiggle lines pointing forward. To do this, be sure your motor wire is on the left side and point the innermost squiggle facing the front of the scooter. From the back, you'll see squiggles going out, and from the front, squiggles will be going in. Now, you can place the tire onto your motor and then get your screws for the mount. When putting our solid tire on our motor, we need to line up the motor screw holes with the divots in the inside of the tire. And to wedge around these screws, I do recommend using your pry bar. Now that your tire is lined up with the motor screw holes and the holes in the tire, go ahead and put the split rim on, lining up the holes with the holes on the tire. Just want to get it into this inside ring here. And then we can slide in our screws and get them started. When spacing these out, you want them with every other, so that way everything is tightened down evenly. Now grabbing your 8mm wrench, go ahead and tighten these each one notch at a time until the tire slides onto the rim. To get the screws started, you may need to grab your 4mm Allen key and push them in. Now continue evenly tightening the nuts. As the rim starts to squish the inside of the tire, go ahead and grab your round pry bar and pull on these holes here to pull the tire up onto the rim. This is where you can also use your rag to ensure you're not marring up the rim. Now flip it over and do the same on the other side. Be careful that your motor wire does not get pinched while moving it around. Now that the tire is wedged onto the rim on both sides, we're going to make sure to tighten each of these nuts evenly to push the rim down center. Any of these screws or nuts become hard to tighten at any point in this process, remove them and restart the process from putting the tire onto the motor. Once the split rim is down far enough to put in your original motor screws, put in the 3 spaced out, then take out your mounting screws and put in the rest of your motor screws. Now each of our 3 motor screws are in the thread. Let's go ahead and remove the mounting screws. Now all of our motor screws are tight. Let's go around and be sure that the tire is seated against the rim on both sides. And that side already looks good. And as a final touch, go ahead and tighten our motor screws. Now we're going to put the rotor back onto the scooter. Be sure to do a star formation here as well, so that way you do not bend the rotor. Now that your screws are in, let's make sure that they're firmly tight. Now that your tubeless tire is installed, go ahead and mount it onto the scooter. Now you can grab your 18mm wrench and tighten the nuts to your scooter. Lastly, we're going to put our motor wire cover screws back on. Be sure not to over tighten, as these will break easy. Now that you've switched to a solid tire on your scooter, expect to have a lot less flats on your ride and get a lot more ride time in. Make sure to like and subscribe for more repair videos and riding content, and come ride with us.